here. And this gentleman comes from Bloomfield Hills, and he has such an amazing story. Can't wait for you all to hear it. Make some noise for my man, Dave Johnson.
Thanks, Kevin. So I'm Dave. A little bit about me. I'm gonna, kind of build on what Adam was saying. I recently found out that I am half Jewish. Woo-hoo! Thank you. I cannot stop kvetching about it, which is, that joke is just for the Jews in here. And there are a few Jewish people here, right? Let me see a couple of hands. Right? Anybody else? Right? I'm asking that question for a very specific reason. And that is, if somebody comes up to me and I tell them I'm half Jewish, it's really important, if you're Jewish, to know which half of you is Jewish. I mean, it's a big deal. It's important. And so based on all the women in my life, it turns out I am Jewish from the waist down, which I've got that going for me. I am, though, having a little trouble adjusting to being Jewish. Like, whenever I go to a restaurant, I never send anything back, so I am definitely working on that. Mm-hmm. I found out I was Jewish by doing a DNA test. Not that long ago. I only found out just a couple of years ago. And I remember I called up my parents and I said, "Mom, Dad, I'm doing a DNA test." And my mom gets really serious and she goes, "David, you're going to find out you're Jewish." And, I'm so dismissive of my mom, even though like the 1% of the time she's right about something. And so I go, "Mom, your DNA can't tell you your religion." And I thought about it for a second, but I mean, I'm not wrong. Like, there's no test you can take to find out you're a Scientologist, right? I mean, obviously, aside from an IQ test. And that makes me, I mean, from someone like me, standing on the outside of religion, I think about this a lot. Like, if God is real, like, why is he so obsessed with you just believing in him without any evidence, right? I mean, like, if I were God, I would put like a little informational kiosk in every city around the world, and you could just go and bullshit with him. Like, I would go, I'd be like, "Hey, God, why'd you make snails?" And, I don't know, Mick Jagger. Is he just mumbling, or do those songs have words in them? I need to know, and God would be able to tell me. But no, he just values gullibility, right? If heaven is real, the only people in heaven are going to be like people who got suckered into selling Tupperware, people who invest in crypto, and women who believe men when they told them they'd pull out. I mean, that's why I'm here right now, right? I mean, heaven is full of people who bought tickets to the second Fire Festival, right? But anyway, so back to the DNA test, right? So I find out my mom's right. It's my mom's mom. She had secretly converted to Christianity to marry my grandfather way back when. And I don't know, I'm like not super comfortable with the way that my family swept our Jewishness, if that's a word, under the rug for like 100 freaking years. And, they say you can't choose your family, but you can unearth a shit ton of family shame by saving 30% on a DNA test on Black Friday. So that is a little tip for you. So what else? Aside from all of that, I also recently moved here to Michigan. I'm not a native Michigander. Thank you. Not the reaction I expected. But I'll tell you, people ask me, why did I move here? And honestly, I credit Eminem. Because I don't know if you know Eminem, but he's like, "Detroit motherfucker till we die," right? And that is so inspirational. I mean, that kind of hometown spirit you do not see every day. I mean, for comparison, I'm from Jersey. So all I had is Springsteen. He's like, "It's a death trap, it's a suicide rap, we gotta get out of here." Baby, we were born to run. Born to run. That, nobody is putting that on a promotional poster at the Chamber of Commerce. But I did take Springsteen's advice. I got the hell out of Jersey. a long time ago. And I've lived a bunch of places, but I ended up living in LA for like 10 years. And I finally left LA, moved here, mainly to get away from the LA dating scene. And I've got a couple of examples for you. So the first long-term relationship that I had after I got divorced, thank you, thanks for the sympathy, was with a woman who was roughly half my age, okay? And she was cool with it, I was cool with it, but you notice things. Like, for example, her dad and me, same Thai collection. We'd go to a restaurant, we'd both order soup, which that seems deeply problematic to me. So we ended up, when we broke up in the most LA way imaginable. And that was a contentious custody battle over my dog. Next relationship didn't last that long. On our second, I'm not kidding, on our second date, she says to me, Dave, you know, I might have to leave the country on a moment's notice. And, you know, that seems a little less like getting to know you and more just like pre-announcing your exit strategy, right? So my final relationship in LA before I moved was with someone who was my hall pass. When I was married, I had this woman as my hall pass. My wife knew. And so I found myself dating an actress that I had had a crush on for decades. And, you know, that was kind of cool, but also frustrating because I didn't need a hall pass anymore. And so the way I think about it is, you remember high school? Like the first time you're allowed to go to a water fountain without asking permission? And you ask yourself, is this water fountain still cool? And I can tell you from personal experience, the water fountain is very fucking cool. And the water fountain broke up with me. So I left LA, moved to Michigan. The first person I met when I got here was the woman who I am now engaged to. Thank you very much. We're getting married a little later this year, and it turns out she is Jewish. So now I have somebody to convex with. So I'm Dave. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.